Let's bring in Bob Jordan, the CEO of Southwest Airlines. Bob's joining us from the company's headquarters there in Dallas. And Bob, I know this was not your flight, and we're not going to ask you specifics. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But we're having you on today because you reported your fourth quarter results. Before we talk about airport congestion, give me your thoughts on the fourth quarter. You beat on the top and the bottom line. Where are you in your turnaround at Southwest Airlines?
Well, Phil, it's early, but I'm really pleased with the fourth quarter, especially the tactical initiatives. You saw the 8-point RASM, or unit revenue, and that's about 6 points ahead of a typical sequential move between the third quarter and the fourth quarter. So that's real evidence that the tactical revenue initiatives are working. And on the strategic side, everything there is on track, like the assigned seating, the extra leg room. You also saw us execute the new co-brand agreement with Chase. So I'm just really proud of our folks. A lot of work left to do, but a lot of progress in the quarter.
And I know we'll have more questions about that, maybe a little bit later on today, as well as in the weeks and months to come. But I first want to ask you about what we're seeing out of Washington at Reagan National. A tragedy that people are saying, wait a second, this is such a congested airspace. Could this have been prevented? And in fact, the Transportation Secretary says he believes this was a preventable accident. I'm not asking you to comment on this collision, but I do want to get your thoughts about the congestion at Reagan National. Should there be fewer flights in there? You guys fly into there.
Well, first, our thoughts and prayers go out to folks that are affected directly by the incident, and all those affected, their families, and to our partners at American and PSA. We're a competitive industry, but we are a community and a family as an industry, so we are doing everything that we can to assist them. On the airspace, the system is as safe as it has ever been, and lowest level of incidents. We are very focused on the priorities that have continued, which is fund the FAA modernization, staff the air traffic control system, and continue to make progress. That's what will help with congestion. But no, we're continuing to be focused on the priorities that matter and working with the administration on that.
What would you tell President Trump if you had him on the phone right now in terms of upgrading the air traffic control system in this country?
The system has been in need of modernization for literally decades now. You've got equipment that goes back to the 1960s. And modernizing the equipment actually allows for better management of the airspace, more throughput, so more efficiency. The focus, again, is really basic. It is modernize the FAA systems, staff the towers, staff our ATC system. It's really basic. Staff and fulfill the mission of the TSA. And we're making terrific progress on both fronts, but continuing the mission, especially modernizing the FAA systems and the air system.
You talk about making progress, Bob, and you and I have talked about this off camera many times. Are you a little frustrated after all these years in the industry that this seems to be the usual discussion? We can do better as a country when it comes to air traffic control, and yet the conversation, it's almost like it gets kicked down the road.
Well, it's a decades-old conversation, and a lot of that may be to do with leadership changes and continuity in the administration and in those offices. But either way, that's the focus. So we're going to work hard as Southwest Airlines. We're going to work hard through our trade association, the A4A, to get that done. We need to fund the modernization, and then we need to execute. The system is behind, and nothing will help the air traffic control system better than modernizing the core systems.
Bob, I want to ask about, as you're turning around your company, you're also dealing with the situation at Boeing. You've put out your projection in terms of deliveries of 737 MAXs, nowhere close to what you were expecting a couple of years ago. But you've probably been in touch with Kelly Ortberg. We talked with him earlier this week. Do you feel like they are turning the corner in terms of MAX production?
Yeah, we're planning to 38 aircraft deliveries this year, so we're being conservative, just like we did in 2024, and it really paid off because we planned to 20, we actually got 22, and if you plan wrong, it really affects the operation, so we're planning to 38. I was actually at Boeing last week, had a chance to meet with leadership and walk the floor, talk to the folks that are actually building our aircraft, and I'm really optimistic. I saw tons of progress. So I'm very optimistic that Boeing can beat the 38 that we are planning to. Maybe the top side for us is 50 to 55 aircraft. And all of those incremental aircraft beyond the 38 will go to our fleet monetization strategy that rewards our shareholders. So I am very optimistic about Boeing. They've got a lot of work to do, but what I saw was very encouraging.
What about getting the Dash 7, the MAX Dash 7, the smaller version, getting it certified? Are you optimistic that will happen this year?
You know, that's really in the hands of Boeing, and the certification has been going on for years now. You have another change at the head of the FAA. So what we're doing, I am optimistic. It's a great aircraft, but we're not in control of that. What we're doing is if we don't take a 7, we're going to take an 8. So it's not going to hurt our delivery plans in that case. We still want the Dash 7. It's probably certainly beyond 2025. Hopefully it comes in 2026. But either way, we're going to take an aircraft from Boeing.